This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I'm sitting here with none other than Chef Fergus Henderson. How are you today, Fergus?
Not bad. It's getting better with a little aid of Freddie Branca, thank you.
Is that something that you normally consume in the afternoon, or?
Well, there are two moments it really hits the spot. First in the morning,
Okay.
and also this point in the afternoon when lunch is beginning to wear off and you prepare yourself for the evening. I find it sort of, it coaxes the whole system through that process.
So are you using it as a digestif or a correctif at this point?
A general miracle.
Okay. So thank you very much for entertaining us today. I've just got back from Edinburgh. I was just travelling through Edinburgh, and I had an interesting discussion with my very, very Scottish mother yesterday. I was in a small restaurant, and on the menu, I noticed there were calf's brains with capers, and there were stuffed pig's ears, and I was immediately drawn towards these dishes. And my very Scottish mother told me that she was quite upset because she felt that I was simply ordering them to show off.
Aha. Well, I don't think you probably were. You probably do as I would. But there is this danger. We get here at tables at Chatsworth City,
Yes.
It's next door, and they come in and go, who's going to order the scariest thing on the menu?
This is what I was about to ask you, actually.
And I just think, hang on, nothing's scary. It's all on the menu because it's delicious. There's no way about anything. It's not how I think, or it's a maddening kind of.
Because I see some kind of correlation, Fergus, between quite often those kind of guys from the city who would order what they think is the scariest thing on the menu. It's a kind of macho thing. And I see some kind of correlation between that and the kind of guys occasionally that would go into an Indian restaurant and order the hottest curry simply because they could.
I find it very bizarre ways to observe food as a sort of ritualistic kind of torture. I mean, it's no, food should be delicious and lovely and stroking. Probably the thing that we put on the menu that sounds strange is, say, spleen.
Yes, yes.
Now, I told you spleen swells when you're in love. You look at it another way, don't you?
I wasn't aware of that.
No. There you go. See, people talk about venting their spleen, they should think love thoughts instead. So so what might appear to be one of the more left field things on the menu, actually is a harbinger of love.
Now, there has been much made of why you got into cooking after a career as an architect. Can you see any correlation between those two professions?
I can, oddly enough.
Could you share them with
I
us?
would. Not piling food, like building blocks and building it up high.
With that kind of vertical,
No.
none of that nonsense.
But architecture is about creating space that people inhabit and reflect the manner's occupation. And food is the same thing.
Yes.
So, a perfect world, inside and out.
Do you ever find yourself being drawn back to architecture? Do you ever dabble in that,
Well,
or
I
are you?
still think I'm an architect.
Yes.
I may be deluded, but I still sort of have. It's very useful. Because when you do architecture, it's a permanent. So you have to justify why you've done it very clearly. And that question why is a very good thing in the kitchen. It's amazing how often you have to say, why did you do that? And there's, never a good answer. And so, yes, ask yourself why. So the justification of what you're doing is, lunch is temporary, you eat it and it's gone, but
Yes.
it's still worth the same question why.
Just a few days ago, the San Pellegrino top 50 restaurant list came out, and I was very happy to see that you were on that list. But there was quite the dearth of British restaurants on that list.
Pretty bleak showing.
Yeah.
Yes, it's but in one way that's quite healthy. It shows that when there's no jingoism afoot or
Yes,
there's no
yeah.
favouritism.
Because it's based out of London, so
That's
yes, yeah.
amazing. So that shows they're definitely embracing the world. And also, London's possibly, but it's not just London, all of England. And two of the restaurants in London, one's in Bray.
Yeah,
I mean, it's,
yeah.
it's a. I don't know what to say about that. Well, it's sad.
Now, how do you feel that British food? I'm going to say British here. With me being Scottish, I have to include the Scots.
I
at
know,
this
I
point.
think British.
How do you feel British food culture has evolved since you first opened this establishment here? And that was almost 15 years ago?
15, 16.
16 years ago, yes.
Well, it's gone leaps and bounds, but there's this moment. There was some magazine in America here that said London's new culinary capital of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, with the new capital culinary of the world, let's stop trying. Possibly. I mean, I don't.
Well, I mean, quite often, there are many people saying that British cuisine was going through this kind of renaissance, and you were very much its Michelangelo. How do you feel about that?
My Sistine Chapel is. No, how do I feel about it? Well, it has gone through. But it's still quite a small renaissance, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite as full on Sistine Chapel. Because I think foods really change. It's not just restaurants, it's at home.
And the way that people interact with food.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think still people buy sofas before they buy a kitchen table.
Yeah.
Which isn't a good sign.
Yeah.
It's theory. I spent a night in Rome. These groovy young Italians. And we discussed green chicory, bits of green chicory.
Yes.
Right. Now, when I'm in London, it's a night with groovy young Londoners and discuss cabbage. I know things have changed and improved, but I haven't got to there yet.
Now, another little comparison I'd like you to make here. Yourself and the philosophies that you push forward have been have been enthusiastically embraced by food culture, and I know you hate the word, but foodies in the States.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel the culture over there compares to that in Britain?
Well, I'm always impressed by the food in America. I mean, it's my cookbook. Oh no, you never go down well in America. I don't that sort of thing. Let's embrace it and cook it and use it and buy it, which is all good. And restaurants seem to have delicious initiatives on, but I don't quite know why I have to be. I wrote a book all those tales as you sort of hook to hate on, but why have been given this sort of. I never meant a crusade to begin or start anything, or it's it's rather dull. It's common sense.
Yes.
Which isn't that glamour, common sense, but it's but the right way. It's said the right way. It's food is common sense. If you kill the animal, use it all.
Now, do you have much experience with Canadian food culture?
Not a huge amount. Who's the very lively chef?
No, which one?
The
There are a
wild
couple.
hunter.
You're talking about from Martin Picard.
Yes.
Have you ever had the chance to meet him?
We met in Melbourne,
Oh, nice. Okay.
which is very nice. And I think he's about Pico. He's my moment of Canadian culinary. That's.
Now, on the subject of wine, you historically have had an entirely French list, which really intrigued me, and I really wanted to. I mean, granted, I love French wine, but I really wanted to find out why it was only French.
Well, various reasons. First, it used to be ours, Aquitaine, a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time.
So, thank goodness it isn't anymore, we'd probably messed it up if it had been ours still.
Well, the French aren't happy about that 50 restaurant list, by the way.
Aren't?
Oh no, they're not happy at all, because they don't have any in the top 10, and they only have 6 in the top 50. So Le Figaro was going absolutely insane about it. saying it's they've lost their haute couture, they've lost their wine sales, and now they're losing their cuisine.
Oh dear. Oh.
Sorry.
I sent the message to France, don't worry, they're right. Why French, besides Aquitaine? Well, not to knock English wine, I think it's a way to go possibly. And we source animals, we go and buy our own wine. For us, the nearest place, so it's a very practical solution. I love Burgundy, which could be main thing I love Cloud too, actually.
Yeah.
But Burgundy is probably where my heart lies. So, so the passion for Burgundy is probably the main.
Okay.
But also, if you're reading a wine list, you get the vibration you're about to find the wine you want. And you're selling in Chile, Argentina, it all goes wrong. It's not. It's a rigor in everything. We follow rigorous seasons, and the limitations of just being French. Within that, we have to then cover all sorts of wine. So I think limitations are very good things, rather than being sort of annoying. You don't want strawberries at Christmas, so enjoy that limitation. So yeah, so it's sort of it's self-set limitation, which leads to something much better.
Now, one last question before I let you get back to your day. I wanted to ask if you had any interesting new projects on the go.
Well, extraordinary you should ask. How fortuitous. We do have a wee project.
Ah.
Well, not that wee actually, because it's a grown-up project. It's a small, a hotel with a restaurant in Chinatown, London.
Chinatown, London.
Which we had like when we first over here, we felt a marginal space in the area and not very. It's a strange, sort of funny tail end of Lyle Street, which is a bit unloved, and so it suits us very well to inhabit that. We're going West End, quite exciting, and our mantra to explain the rooms is a miniature grand urban hut.
Okay.
So they're not going to be big rooms, but hopefully well appointed with everything you need.
Sort of idea where when you possibly had a little bit too much to eat and drink, you have a place to lay your head.
Well, instead of nose to tail, table to bed.
That sounds good. Now, what is the proposed opening date for this? And do you have a working title?
Odd enough, St John Hotel.
St John Hotel? Keep it simple, keep that brand going.
Yeah, well, which was brand, yeah. It's more,
Okay, I apologise, sorry.
That's right. Few other things like that. When it's hopefully somewhere September-ish. But no one get cross with me if it's not.
Okay, well that will give me a good excuse to come back to London again.
Very good.
Fergus, thank you so much for spending time with us today at Good Food Revolution. I really appreciate your time, because I know you're very busy. Thank you very much, and I hope to catch up with you again at some point in the future.
Hope so, thank you.
Take care, Fergus.